Okay, in this short video, I'm going to show you how to solve three different types of equations using the same approach or method. So here's the first one. It's a quadratic equation you would see in a basic college algebra course. Number two is a trigonometric equation you would see in a trigonometric course. And the third one is a exponential equation. Of course, you would also see in a college algebra course. So quickly look at these and see if you can determine what method you would take to solve these. Okay, well, the first one's a quadratic, and we know that we can solve quadratics by factoring, completing the square, and of course the quadratic formula. And it turns out that you can also solve the other two using that same method or methods. In this case, the one I'm going to use is just the easiest or simplest one to take. It's factoring. So we can factor the first one into x minus 4 and x plus 3. Okay, so normally if you're solving a quadratic by factoring, you want one side to be 0, which we have here, and then just factor the other side, x minus 4, x plus 3. And of course the product of two numbers or two factors is 0. If one or both factors are 0, so we set each factor equals 0 to solve for x. So this means that x minus 4 could be 0, or x plus 3 could be 0. So solving each of those two equations for x, the first one we get x equal to 4. And the second one we get x equal to negative 3. So the solution to the quadratic is x equal 4 or x equal negative 3. Now the second is a trigonometric equation which we can solve again using the same method. You treat the sine x just like a variable and say this factors into sine of x minus 4 sine of x plus 3. And just like I did in number 1, product of two factors is 0. Doesn't matter what's in the factors, whether it's variables or functions. The product of two factors is 0 if one or both of the factors are 0. So we set each factor equal to 0 and solve for the variable. In this case, we're solving for sine of x. So from the first factor, set that equal to 0, I would get sine of x is equal to 4. And from the second one, we get sine of x is equal to negative 3. Okay. Now from your basic trigonometry, and I'm assuming when I do this particular video that you know a little bit of trigonometry, that the sine of a x is always contained between -1 and 1, just like the cosine of x is contained between -1 and 1. So the sine of x cannot be greater than 1, cannot be less than -1. So this one here is not possible. Sine of x cannot be greater than 1. Sine of x equal -3, again impossible. Sine of x cannot be less than -1. So this gives me no solution. So I just put the empty set here. This one has no solution. Put it over here. No solution. Okay. Now, in the next one, e to the 2x minus e to the x minus 12 equal to 0. This is an exponential equation. And again, I can factor this out. Same way as the other two, e to the x minus 4 and e to the x plus 3. So you can see the similarity in the solution of these three equations, all done by factoring. Now I point out that you could also do them by completing the square. You could solve these by quadratic formula, but the easiest approach to take here is factoring. So again, if I take the first equation, again I have two factors equal to 0. The product of two factors again is 0 if one or both factors are equal to 0. So we set each factor equal to 0 and solve. In this case I solve for e to the x. So in the first factor I get e to the x equal to 4. From the second factor I get e to the x is equal to -3. Okay. E to the x, e remember is approximately 2.71. 20 power is never going to be negative. So this one has no solution. So this one I can just cross out, has no solution. Now the e to the x equal to 4. I take the natural log of both sides, so that's going to be, I take ln of this side, natural log as to base c, ln of this side, but ln of e to the x, because the base of this logarithm is e, is just going to be x. And then the natural log of 4, I'll just leave it as an exact answer. So the solution then to the last equation is x is equal to natural log of 4. Okay, and of course you can use your calculator if you want an approximate answer, but this is the exact answer. X is equal to ln of 4, or natural log of 4. Okay, so short video just to show you how you can solve 3 different types of equations with the same method. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.